Well, hello everybody, welcome back to Shutters and Speed. This is a video that has been requested by one or two people who watched the tour of the Yamaha Tracer 900, which was my previous video, and I'm looking to explore the electronics that I use with my, in conjunction with my helmet headset and my sat nav and my phone, and how they all work together to enhance the enjoyment of my ride. So without further ado, we'll start off with the headset. So this is the Sena 10S headset that I use. It has one or two very good features on it. It is not the most expensive headset that you can buy, nor is it the cheapest. When I was researching these about 2 or 3 years ago, I looked into this quite carefully, and I discovered that this one had all the features that I needed, I felt, for the price I was prepared to pay. It has a lot of functionality, and it has all the functionality is controlled by this dial, the center push button, the buttons on the side here, which are part of the dial, and also this button on the back. And the other thing that I do like about it is although the sound quality from the speakers is very good, if I'm going long term or long distance, I tend to use earbuds which plug into a little port here somewhere, just in there somewhere, which I use instead of the internal speakers, because the sound quality is much better actually, and I find that it also acts as earplugs as well. The pair of headphones that I use, which I'll show in a few minutes, also act as good earplugs, and they were cheap to buy off Amazon, and they work really well. So that is the headset. The speakers are obviously inside, and the microphone. I won't show you that because it's difficult to see, but it's quite easy to imagine where they are and how they fit and so forth. There are different ways of fitting these to different helmets, but overall it was quite easy to fit onto my Shoei GT Air helmet, and it works very well. Right, so here we are with everything all set up, ready to go. We've got what we have here, of course, is my phone, the sat nav, the earplugs that I spoke about earlier, and obviously the Bluetooth headset. And inside here I've got a microphone that will hopefully transmit what the headset will be doing in terms of sound. And also I've got an action camera in here, so hopefully you can see my hands, and you're going to get a view of my kitchen door, which I know is not a great thing to look at, but you get sort of a feeling, I hope, of what it's like to be sort of inside the helmet, but we'll see how that goes. So what we'll do to start with then is just have a quick chat about the sat nav. So this is a TomTom 450. I purchased this about 2 or 3 years ago, and I decided to go for that because what I found with my phone was that the screen on here is a little unreliable, I think. I mean, it's fine, it's okay if you want to just go out for a ride for half an hour, 3/4 of an hour or so. Anything longer than that, and I find the screen tends to go dead again, and it takes a little while for it to come back. And I think if I continue to use this as a sat nav, like some people do, for longer journeys, I think I would eventually end up ruining the phone. So I thought I would then go ahead and buy this sat nav, which is actually quite robust, waterproof. The screen is seems to go on forever. You can have it on for as long as you like. It doesn't fade. It doesn't fail, as it were. And the other thing, of course, is that it's actually operatable using gloves, which is very useful. And it comes with all the mounting kit you need to mount it on your motorbike. Or you can obviously purchase other things as well. But I've used the kit that came with the sat nav, and it's been fine. And I find that that's very useful. So moving on from that, I've got these headphones here. These are Betron BS10s, I think they are. They're only about 11 quid from Amazon, and I found these to be brilliant. They plug into my headset here, and on longer journeys they provide me with brilliant sound quality and also act as good earplugs too. So that is obviously very useful. So this is my phone. This is a Huawei Mate 20 Lite. Apart from the screen issues which I mentioned earlier, this has been quite good. And one of the great things about this is the apps it has on it that works in conjunction with my headset and also the sat nav. There's a thing on here called My Drive, which is a TomTom app, and you can use that to set routes up and make adjustments however you wish, and then it then sends them to the instructions for the route to the sat nav, and away you go. You can actually obviously set the route up by just simply typing in a destination in the sat nav, which is obviously okay. But I find this is more controllable, and you can do it at your leisure. And then once you're happy with everything, you just simply send, and it sends the route and everything to the device, and we're ready to go. And I'll show you how that works in a moment or two. So there we go. So the first thing we'll do is we'll just strike up the Bluetooth headset here and see how that operates. What you'll see is, hopefully, is that once I start that, I'll just get my phone working. You need to have the phone in this state, as it were, for it to work properly, so it's all ready to go. So we'll turn the headset on, and hopefully you'll hear the sounds inside.
Hello. Phone connected. Device connected.
So as you can hear, the sat-nav and the phone are connected to the Bluetooth headset, and we're good to go. Now the thing with the phone is that I've got this set so that when the headset is fired up, Android Auto fires up at the same time. This is an app that you can get off the Play Store, which is quite useful because if you're only going to go on short journeys, you can use this to control a lot of functions on the phone using your voice, which is obviously quite handy. I don't use it that much. The main reason I have this going is so that I can see the radio, or hear the radio, sorry, as I'm going along. I'll just start that up just so you can hear that. Hopefully you'll be able to hear the radio playing in the helmet. So there we go. There's the radio playing inside the helmet. So we'll stop that. Now, although I use this quite a lot for short journeys, for longer journeys I tend to have this turned off because of the screen issues that I mentioned. And what I tend to do then, if I want to listen to the radio, I can then just come out of here, exit Android Auto, and then I can just find the BBC Sounds app, which I find is pretty good, and start that up, and then just play the radio from here. So hopefully that'll start. There we go. So I can listen to Radio 2 at my heart's content over my headset for the journey, which is fantastic. Now the other thing which is very useful for this, for the headset, is the Senna app. Now on the Senna app here, we'll fire that up. Not at the moment. So we've got a new update, which is good, which I should do later. But the great thing about this is that all the functions for the headset are available on the app. So you don't have to, if you try to do it with the headset itself, all the functions are a series of button presses and so forth, which are difficult to remember. And I don't tend to use them. I use the app, which is brilliant. You can access all the settings and adjust them or turn them on or off from here, which is fantastic. The only settings or knobs, if you like, that I use on the headset is the button here to answer the phone, and also the wheel to adjust the volume of the music or whatever that's coming through. The other thing that you have the option of is, if you want to, I've not tried this yet, so I don't know quite how it works, but you do have the option to smart pair with other headsets so that you can talk to other riders, and that it can either be a pillion passenger or another rider who's riding with you, and that will go up to about a mile away, so they claim, although I have heard that half a mile is more realistic. But you can use this section to sort of scan other people's intercoms, and I believe it works with other makes as well, like the Pack Talks of this world, the Cardo Pack Talks, which are obviously a very brilliant piece of kit. But I find that obviously this is okay, and you can do that. But I haven't done that yet because obviously I've got no buddies that have got this headsets at the moment. One or two of them have got the cheaper ones, which I haven't tried. But hopefully, if I try that, I'll maybe make a video and show you how that works. So that's the Sena headset app. Now we also mentioned the MyDrive app, which is here. Now that is what I use if I want to set up a route to go somewhere before I obviously set off. And I use this rather than doing it on the sat-nav itself. But before we do that, what we have to make sure is that for the sat-nav to work well with the phone and its internet connection, we have to just go into the settings menu on the phone, and then we have to go to mobile network and make sure that mobile data is switched on, which it looks as though it is, and we also have to make sure that the Bluetooth tethering is on, which it is. Turn on the personal hotspot, which is actually off, so that's fine, so that everything will now connect to the sat nav, so we're ready to go. So everything is connected, both Bluetooth and mobile hotspot. Now we can go back to the My Drive app and start setting our routes up. Now just for ease of use, I'm just going to type in the top here Cadwell Park, because that's obviously a venue that I use quite a lot. And I can spell it properly or type it correctly. Let's try again. Let's see. Cadwell Park 7. Okay. So we hit the plan route button, and that set our route from my home in here in Downham Market to Cadwell Park. You've got other options on here. You can select a round trip version, or you can select a squiggly road or a direct route. I've got it set on the direct route at the moment, so that's what we'll just stick with for now. So what I can do now is send the destination to my sat nav by just pressing this button here, and hopefully it will arrive at the sat nav, and you should see it here, some kind of prompt inside the helmet from the sat nav to say that it's received the information. So let's give that a go.
You have received a new destination.
So the sat nav now has that destination. It's going to input that into the sat nav, and then we're ready to go. So at this point, I usually sort of plug my headphones in, put the helmet on, and get going. And the last thing I do before I set off is just hit the let's go button.
You will arrive at your destination at 12:15 p.m.
And we're good to go. Well, that concludes today's video on the electronic systems that I use within my helmet and my sat nav and etc. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you found it also very useful. I know there are various different ways of doing this, and people who have umpteen different ways of doing it themselves, but I hope that the insight into the way I do it has been useful to you, and that you found it interesting. So if you have, then I would hope that you would click the subscribe button to keep up to date with all the content that's coming up your way this year. And without further ado, this is Shutters and Speed signing off for now. So we'll see you next time. Bye!
Regularly. You might remember those who've watched the video that I took the tour. Well, hello everybody, as it were. We've got the phone, sat nav, and the headset. What I've got here is a helmet in